applications, parking lot management applications, those also have great payback. ALPR can offer great payback on these. So you can own and operate and get your payback yourself. We also see people working directly with service operators that can take it from a upfront cost into a more monthly OpEx model, and that offers a lot of flexibility for cities that it works better to operate in that way. And the other way that we've seen be successful is just teaming up with another large enterprise locally, often a utility that may in fact have the pole rights that you need, but also has a need for a wide area system to support their own workforce. And then teaming up, the city gets what it wants, but it gets it subsidized because they get the network deployed and managed through a company that's really in that business to do it. So.
Nelson, anything to add?
Yeah, bonds are also a popular vehicle. You see, especially when it's used for city use only, they're going in with a bunch of other capital projects and getting a large bond to, the wireless network piece is part of, road build-outs or a bridge or something larger. Especially I know in the case of Plano where they have 4.9 license. They're also using 2.4 Wi-Fi for external agencies. That network is completely private use, even though there is a Wi-Fi element to it, but they're not going to be selling internet access. They're using it only for internal. That went in with a bunch of other capital projects that they got a bond for. So that's also a popular vehicle.
Do you have a question?
The only grants we got for this were from Homeland Security and from the Department of Justice, the COPS program office. My comment about FEMA is that FEMA has a program that during a disaster you can rent equipment through them, which is supplied by private contractors that can be brought in, flown in to your site very quickly. And that relationship is set up through the emergency management agency at the city level and then through the state level. But we didn't get any funding from them to build this network. As far as other sources of funding, in fact, we used capital bonds to cover the costs that weren't covered by the grants and had no problem doing that. That's just part of the basic bonding credit of the city. And in the future, I'm very curious to know more about what kind of grants we might be able to get, and I'd rely on folks like our business partner Motorola to help us identify those granting opportunities. They keep changing, so it's difficult unless you're a large city and you can devote some serious resource to keeping track of that. You need to take other paths to find out where those grants are.
Any other questions out there? Sir?
Just a very quick question. On Tom Barrett from Maine PCS. Did you consider doing it in 4.9? And we just heard that it was technically capable of it, and why did you choose to go to the unregulated space?
That's an easy one. At the time that we did this, there were no 4.9 products. 4.9 was something people were talking about. We didn't have time to wait around for it.
Thanks.
I have another question about training, because you'd think that potentially the police, fire, are used to the systems that they have and a little bit wary perhaps of new technology and the idea that this is open spectrum. So did you have any resistance, and what kind of training did you do? How formal was it, and how much of a requirement was it?
There was some training required. When we rolled out the system beginning in August last year till we finally reached full deployment in December, we would take groups of cops and show them the system and basically assure them that what they did at their desk they could do from their car, and they would get a chance to try it out on the laptops. But it really didn't amount to a whole lot of training. I think it was about an hour and a half session, because they already knew the applications they were going to use. That's a huge, it's just a huge thing when you can say, look, there's nothing to be afraid of here, you're already using it. It's this, you just do the same stuff you do at your desk, you do in the car. And so there was very, very little resistance in our case.